How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ivy League Film Study. Today, we are taking on Princeton. Now, Princeton are a pretty balanced team. I don't have a ton to say about them before we get into the game, but there's a lot of footage to cover here, a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. So let's just get straight into it. All right, so I got the ball first on offense, and my game plan here to kind of start this first drive was I wanted to run until they could prove to me they could stop the run. Princeton have one of the worst run defenses in the Ivy League statistically, and so I kind of wanted to try to take advantage of that. And they have that bad of a run defense without having faced me or Yale, the two best running teams in the Ivy League. So I was kind of looking forward to trying to just pound the rock, see if I could get the running game going, and here on this opening drive, we had a good bit of success here. Mixed it up, tosses, inside runs, mixed up who we had running the ball. We were running it pretty well until we got here into their territory. They got me on a 2nd and 9, and now we're going to come out passing. We've got mesh with a corner route, and look at this. They brought the safety down. Now, I know that Princeton likes to run a lot of cover 2. I knew that going into this game that we were going to be seeing a lot of cover 2. And so when they brought the safety down, for me, I was like, oh, I've got this corner out with the tight end. This is, free play. Look at this. Corner is nowhere to be found. The safety that was supposed to be playing that deep half, nowhere to be found. It's cover 2. This is wide open. All right, sweet, 7 points. Let's get on to the next drive. Except for the fact that we just overthrew him. We had a wide open guy and we just missed it. So that gives us on a 3rd and 9. I called mesh. They did a pretty good job locking it down. I had to settle for a few yards and take our 3. So already, feel like we have points taken off the board because of that missed pass. So Princeton are coming out, and they have not only do they have the worst run defense, but they also don't run the ball very much on offense. And so I'm expecting a high, heavy passing attack, and they come out and they just want to run the ball, and they are pretty successful at it to start this game. They came out here on this first down, and they came out in this duo formation. Now, whenever I see this formation, my first thought is always that this is probably going to be either some sort of toss sweep out to the right, or they're going to do some kind of RPO. There's a couple of good RPOs in this formation. But basically, my thought is I need to get out into this flat and cover this, because I just don't think you call this formation if you're going to run inside zone. I just don't really see that being a reality. They snap the ball, and immediately I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize this. This is speed option. They got 22 going out to be the lead blocker. They've got number 2. He's going to go out and be the pitch man. And so I got to get out and try to make a play on this. And I get to this point, and right here, I know that Princeton is not a triple option team, and I know that for people that are not triple option guys, people that aren't running it all the time, every play, it's hard to be disciplined with the triple option. And so my goal here is I'm going to kind of try to run towards the quarterback, but actually then cut back towards the running back, and try to kind of get in the way of that pitch, to try to force an error, try to force a turnover, try to get a big play here. A lot of people complain in this game about the option and how hard it is to run the option. I actually don't think that the option is too hard to run. I think that people just don't run it enough and expect that they can call it once every 2 or 3 games and have success with it. But the reality is that the option is really hard to run in real life, and there's a reason that there are 3 teams in college football, in Division I college football, that run the option, and that's pretty much all they do, and nobody else really runs the triple option. It's hard to run. You got to be really disciplined, and most people don't have that level of discipline. And so, we're going to try to take advantage of that here, try to create a turnover, try to just kind of get in the way, and we do, right? We get right in the middle. He tries to force that pitch a little late. We get a turnover, and all of a sudden, we're looking good. Like, this is going to be a great thing. And we get to this point, and this is where I start to make maybe the most boneheaded decision that I make all season. Hopefully, I don't do anything worse than this. I got to this point, and I thought, all right, I'm about to get tackled by number 2, but I really want to get in here on this play. I'm afraid that Princeton have a pretty good red zone defense, so I just wanted to put an exclamation point on it right here. Look, I've got number 0 to my left. Why don't I just try pitching the ball? I didn't even think about the fact that this is college football 25, and pitching the ball is super wonky and ridiculous at the best of times. So something in me told me to pitch the ball. Maybe I was thinking about the 2002 Florida-Georgia game. If you're familiar with that one, David Pollock got a really big interception in the red zone and tried to pass it off to one of his defensive backs. And it ended up working out had it not been for the fact that his little pass-off was a forward pass. So maybe that was in the back of my mind here. I was thinking about that, but try to pitch it, and instead of pitching it to my number 0, the ball just goes straight to his number 0. And so what should have been us getting the ball inside the 5 ends up turning into them getting the ball. They come back out in this duo, and here they run the toss. This is kind of what I expected, and we did an okay job stopping it, but they continue to run the ball. They called like 6 or 7 straight runs, I think, out of the gate. There's a big one. Gets them all the way down into my territory, and now I'm like, I don't know what the heck is going on. I'm calling all these bear fronts, trying to get a stop. We finally get a pretty good stop here. Now they come out and F-twins over. Now this is a running formation. If you're not familiar with shotgun F-twins over, every play will have this receiver out to the left going on this jet motion, and then there's 6 plays in the formation that are basically just wrinkles off of that jet motion. So there's a jet touch pass, there's a fake jet running back counter, there's a fake jet inside zone, there's a fake jet quarterback power. I think there's even like a backside screen for the running back that you fake the jet and the running back kind of runs out for a screen to the left. So there's a lot of cool stuff here, but it's all based on that jet motion, and there's no deep threat. So you can see I'm using this left deep zone guy because, quite frankly, he's useless against this play, because they're not going to throw it into that area out of F-twins over. It's just not possible. So I'm going to user him. And then how I like to play this, you can see here with the jet motion, how I like to play this is right at the start of the snap, I watch the H-back, which in this case is number 86, and the running back number 2. And the big things that I'm looking for, I'm trying to watch the jet sweep, I'm trying to watch the counter, I'm trying to watch the inside zone. If it's a jet sweep, both number 86 and number 2 are immediately going to take off to the right and try to lay a lead block and try to get space. If it's a counter, number 86 and number 2 are both going to be going to the left as soon as the ball is snapped. It's pretty easy to see. And if it's this inside zone, which we do have here, you see 86 going out to the right to try to block, but 2 is not going out to the right. He's kind of standing still because he's getting ready to receive this handoff. And so, that's what this play is. It's inside zone. We defended okay. Probably should have stopped him at the goal line. He ends up getting 6 yards. All right, whatever. Right now we got trips. It's 3rd and 4. And they're gonna send a guy in motion, and immediately ball is snapped, and I can tell what this is, right? This is a screen. I know just based on watching Princeton that 3rd and short, Princeton loves a screen pass. And so I'm covering this hook curl guy, or maybe this is the hard flat, but I'm all over this screen. Like, I see it coming, I read it. We got a pretty good look on this, but it's the screen where the running back cuts back to the right, and he's able to get a first down. So I read it, but am unable to do anything here. Now I'm coming out, I'm playing cover 2, and this is the shotgun bunch verticals play. This is one of the best play action plays, I think, in the game. It's in the Alabama playbook. A lot of people like to use this. And I call cover 2 against this, and it's just like the perfect play call against my defense. I got to give my opponent credit here. You can see they've got 3 vertical routes. We've got 2 guys covering deep. The math just doesn't really math there. So they're always going to have somebody open. There's just not much that we can do when you call the wrong play against the wrong offensive play. So great play. They get to the 5. And at this point, I'm like, all right, now they're mixing it up. They're throwing it. They're running it. That was like the first pass I think they called all game. Now in the red zone, they're going to go back to the running game. And then right here, 2nd and goal, and just a beautiful RPO. Just a great play. Couldn't get out there in time. All right, so now we're back on offense. We're down. And I called this single back doubles flex. And the reason I called it there got to run with Dijon Stanley, and I'm doing that to kind of just give them that look, to kind of plant that in the back of their mind, whether they know it or not. They're like, hey, this is the single back, and I just called a run up the middle. But now I'm going to use the packages and put Dijon in the slot. For the rest of the game, I'm going to have Dijon in the slot in doubles flex. And so, I've shown them that we can run out of it, but from now on, it's pretty much going to be passing only out of this formation. Hopefully they don't catch on to it. Come out and run it here. They're calling cover 3, and I'm calling this play that's just a cover 2 beater because I'm expecting them to run cover 2. And they're coming out with a single high safety, and post-snap it's a single high safety, and for some reason I just totally ignored everything and was just so focused in on I've got to hit this pass and, a terrible read. Maybe there's room to complete this, but yeah, just a bad pass. Should have been picked off. So now we're running triple option, and so we got a little lucky on the last play. Now we're going to start to get a little unlucky. So this is triple option, and if you're not familiar with how triple option should be blocked, the in man on the line of scrimmage, which I'm kind of going to assume is this guy right here, he should be left unblocked, and he's the read key. And then the offensive line should be blocking down to try to kind of separate that read key from the rest of the defense and kind of create a hole. And that's how basically the main mesh between the quarterback and the fullback, that's how it's supposed to be blocked in triple option. And so we have called triple option here, and there it is, and the nose tackle there just was unblocked. We just made a business decision not to block him. I'm going to keep it based on the guy that I thought was going to be the read key. I'm not sure if he was or not, but based on kind of the pre-snap, that's the guy I thought was going to be the read key. He kind of comes inside. I'm going to keep it. We should be one-on-one with this outside guy. He's the pitch man. Like this is a textbook play. This should be a first down. Instead, we don't block the nose tackle and blown up in the backfield. All right, let's go to third down now. 3rd and 6. Got this RPO read bubble, and this is every coach's dream to call a bubble screen like this and get one defender on 2 receivers on the outside, way out there in space. This is great. This is textbook. So at this point, when I snap the ball, I'm going to look at the safety and just make sure that he's not screaming towards the wide receiver. But even if he does, I don't know if he's going to be able to make a play on this. So, this is pretty much an instant throw. Great. We love this. Snap the ball. Throw it. Don't even look. And then I'm getting the ball and I'm realizing, wait a minute. Our wide receiver just had to block one guy. Where the heck is he going? Why is he trying to block the safety who's, for all intents and purposes, removed from this play pretty much entirely? We just got to get 6 yards here. It's 3rd down. It's important. And instead of blocking the imminent threat, this corner, he chooses to fly upfield and block the safety and leave me one-on-one with this corner on the outside. That should be the easiest first down I've ever gotten. Instead, we have to punt the ball back. So now they're in this formation, this kind of full house formation, and I'm ready for this kind of screen play. I ran out there to try to cover it. I kind of knew something like this was probably coming. So we've got 3 guys out here. They've got 2 blockers. We should be able to set the edge. And then this game just has bad pursuit angles. And so, they get an easy first down. They come back out in this formation again. And I really want to pay attention here to who's manned up to who. So you got number 22, this right running back here in the backfield, and how my right corner here is manned up on him. All right? Then on the left side, they got number 2, John Volker. And this left side slot corner, I guess, is manned up on him. All right, so here we go. We're going to see how this play goes. I'm kind of expecting some sort of similar play to the last one. They send the guy in motion, and you can see guys going in motion, and the guy that's supposed to be manned up on 22 there is going in motion with him. All right, this is perfect. Now, he's a little bit behind, and a quick throw here, and 22 might be able to get into some space, but hey, my guy's making an effort. He's running out there, right? And so then the ball is snapped, and then all of a sudden, he just decided not to run out there anymore. And so now 22 is running out here kind of all by himself. This is the guy that was supposed to cover him, and he is now stopped and shuffling. What happened was the man coverage apparently got handed off to the guy I was usering. Now, I thought I was supposed to be covering number 2. I kind of expected this fake handoff inside, and I figured that if he did hand it off to number 2 inside, we had a numbers advantage, and I wasn't really worried about that. So I'm trying to cover this flat. I'm trying to be a little aggressive here. Apparently, the man coverage got handed off, and no one told me. So he is just wide open, and there's just nothing we can do to stop this. I don't really know how I'm supposed to know that the man coverage is getting handed off. I don't have any way to adjust for that, but that's what happens. So now we're coming back out. Once again, he's bringing the safety down. I'm expecting some sort of cover 2. He's bringing the safety down. I'm sending my guy on a streak, right? This seems like a pretty obvious play. He's going to bring the safety down. He's going to bite really hard. You can see right here post-snap, he's bit hard. This is wide open. Now, they're not running cover 2, I don't think. This is some kind of, I don't know if this is like a cover 3 cloud or a cover 6 or something. It's not cover 2, and maybe it's cover 4 even, and he was supposed to be that inside quarter there. Whatever it is, our guy's still open. There's still space there. He's got a step on this outside guy, and the inside, the guy on the right here is just too far away. So as long as this ball is placed somewhere kind of between that ref and the hash mark, out there around the 10-yard line, this is a touchdown. This is a great play, touchdown. Except for the fact that it's thrown in a terrible spot. It's not between the ref and the hash mark. It's to the right of the ref. And so, yeah, this play is able to get picked off. And, again, another play that probably should have been a touchdown is now a turnover. 3 minutes left in the half. They come out here and run this bunch again. And we're ready for that play action verticals play that they showed us earlier. We're ready for it. We got 3 deep zones, but they do a good job mixing it up here. He's calling fake hot routes, and I'm totally faked by it. They get the run out to the left. He's got space, and just look at the blocking on the edge. I mean, my wide receiver couldn't block one defender for the bubble screen earlier, but man, they get 3 great blocks. And that's just huge. And that's the kind of big plays that your players have to make in order for you to win games. Now, we did get him on a 4th down here. We're calling cover 2. They're in empty. And we do a pretty good job blocking it up here. So, that drive, we did okay. We kind of recovered, came back on defense there, got the ball back. Minute 10 left. We're going to run the option right here. I make the wrong read technically, but I notice as I'm getting the ball with my quarterback, I notice that his user is out here on the edge, and I don't really like that. I don't really like to mess with the users on the option. I mean, we've seen how I was able to control my user and force a big turnover on a pitch on an option earlier. That's recipe for disaster. And I also see that if 39 runs up this hole and blocks this middle linebacker, I've got some space here, and I might be able to take it up. And so I quite frequently will do this. If I make the wrong read, I'll often, rather than try to turn a bad play into a good play, I will just try to minimize how bad a play can be. So I'll just take my quarterback up the middle here, follow my fullback, and it works out okay here in this play. We're able to get 9 yards. We got a little stuck in traffic, but a pretty good play. Now, same formation, verticals, and he calls what is the most perfect defense that I've ever seen called against verticals. Now, I don't know if he had done some film study and was ready for this. Maybe he was. And if that's the case, fair enough. I have a lot of respect for that. Or if he just happened to call a good defense here. If I throw to R1, this flat is probably going to make a play on that. It's at best a really contended catch, and at worst probably a pick 6. So, when I see a cover 2 look like this, I'm not throwing R1. The deep guys, it's cover 2. The deep guys are obviously covered. Usually, I would either try to scramble or dump it back to circle, but he's got this really shallow middle defender here. He's not playing a spy. I thought for a second maybe he was playing a spy, but he's not, because he's not following the quarterback as I run out. Maybe he's manned up, or maybe he just, like, I don't know how he has this guy playing this really shallow, just like totally marking the fullback. But yeah, I mean, that's like perfectly covered. Now, we still managed to get a good play here, get a first down. So 47 seconds left, and I'm coming back out. I'm going to run this RPO again, and look, all credit to my opponent. He recognizes the play. This is the second time I've called it, and he recognizes it immediately, and he's going to shut down that RPO, and like a lot of respect for that. But we can still hand it off and get a couple yards. But the clock's ticking, and so we're going to kind of come out, and I'm going to call this PA flood. And my thought here was like, okay, I can get him to bite down on what he thinks is probably going to be that bubble. And look, you can see he did kind of run down and bite. And now I've got Pettis kind of in behind, wide open. Now he does a really good job here, my opponent, of getting back and trying to cut off that out route. Like, he reads it pretty well. And so I'm having to throw it. I have to kind of throw it, lead it to the left, and kind of hit Pettis in this little pocket here. And we hit it, and then he fumbles the ball. And I just have no words for that. Late in the half, our worst case scenario here really should be we run another play or two, we take our field goal, and we're down by 8 going into the half. Instead, we get a fumble. Of course, they recover it. Now they come out, and I'm trying to, play defense. They run this cover 3. And again, all credit to my opponent here. I'm calling cover 3, and he just does a great job with his comeback route. I'm unable to make a play on it, and now he's to the 15, 3 seconds left. He's going to get an easy field goal. And so what probably should have been, at worst, an 8-point game is now a 14-point game going into the half. So coming out in the second half here, and our play has changed. I'm going to have to pull out some stops here in order to make some plays. And I've dialed up this bubble here. And I love this RPO read bubble. This is in the spread offset formation, shotgun spread offset. And the way that you read this is pre-snap, you look over here at this left-hand side. And if they don't have anyone covering Pettis, and what I mean by that is a defender that's directly over Pettis, the triangle right there, within about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, if they don't have anyone there, this is pretty much an open invitation to just throw that bubble really quickly. Easy read, don't have to think about anything else. And that's what we get here. So when you see me snap it, I'm going to throw that. But if we imagine for a second that somebody is over there covering Pettis, then you just you look at the guy with the R over him, that's your read key. It's a read option. So you hand it off up the middle if the guy stays outside, or if the read key crashes inside. You keep it with your quarterback and you go outside. And then, it's almost like a triple option, because you can hand it off up the middle. You can, if you don't hand it off, you got your quarterback, and you can either take off with your quarterback, or you can throw it quickly to the wide receiver out on the screen. If the pass key is not out there watching the wide receiver, you got a ton of options. I think this is probably one of the most dangerous plays in the entire game. And I legitimately believe that against an unsuspecting opponent, you could probably run this whole play for an entire game and have a lot of success. It is really, really hard to stop. The only real way that you can stop this is if you start bringing, all 11 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Okay, you're probably going to stop this play. But you're also in a shotgun spread formation with 4 verts and every type of deep passing play you can imagine that you can cook up. This play just has no easy counter. This is a tough one. If it's read well, it's a tough one to stop. So we're going to come out here, like I said, open invitation to this left-hand side. I'm going to watch that safety, make sure he doesn't crash down, but he doesn't. Pettis, first down. Easiest play. We did get a block on the edge that time. Now, they do have a guy over there. So now we're going to play the read option, and we've just got tons of space with our quarterback. Another easy first down. Now later on in this drive. Now I've mixed some other stuff in there, but we're going to keep coming back to this. Now we got the bubble on the right side. It's just easy. And then red zone, I'm going to throw him a different look. I'm going to hit him with this triple option. And right here from the snap, the guy that I'm supposed to be reading does maybe the best job I've ever seen at playing the option. Normally, they're really obvious with their reads. They're either running inside to the running back, or they are standing still with their hands up, like basically signaling to you, hey, look over here, I'm playing the quarterback, hand it off. I wish they played more like this because this is way more realistic. He runs in kind of straight at this mesh, and then when I keep it, because I kind of assume that when he runs in, he's running after the running back, I keep it and he plays the quarterback. And he does a really good job. Now, we got really lucky here with his broken tackle. And then, of course, pitch it out and get a touchdown. But really well played from the read key there. Now we're back on defense. They're going to come out. And, again, they continue to run the ball. And look at this. We force a fumble. So they got kind of a lucky fumble on us at the end of the first half. Now here early in the second half, we get a lucky fumble on them. We've got two guys that are just standing right over the ball. And like, oh, yeah, sweet. Fumble recovery. Like, we got the ball. We can, hopefully get a touchdown here on this drive. And all of a sudden, we're right back in this game, right? No, that's not how it's going to work, because number 21, while he's kind of staring right at the ball, he just decides that his work on this play is done. Somehow they managed to recover that. So they're going to come out. Now, we did play pretty good here. That probably should have been a pick, but we get the ball back. So, it kind of comes out as a wash. We get the ball back. Now, I'm cooking this play up again here. We got Dijon in the slot, and they're running double high safety look. And this play, I had this play in the bag for this look, for this team. We have got two kind of options we can hit here. I think square, as he drifts into this middle of the field, I think he's probably going to be open. But sometimes those posts can be a little squirrely, and the kind of backside deep half can play that pretty well. So that can be kind of a risk. Instead, I've got the fastest guy in the conference streaking down this left-hand side of the field, and if we can get a good ball in there, this is a big play. Probably should be a touchdown. Not a great catch animation. He jumped. I don't know why, but now we're inside the red zone, and we're just going to run the ball. We're going to go back to what we know. And, all of a sudden, wow, our team has really come alive here. Yeah, we're about to, get into the red zone, get into the end zone. We've now got a chance to come back in this game. Huge touchdown there from Tobias Gardner. Analytics say you go for two here, so I'm going to go for two. I'm going to go back to this read bubble. Easy 2 points. And now all we need, 4:48 left. All we need is a stop. We're down by 6. They call a run play. We're all over it. Now it's second down. I recognize this formation. This is the same formation they ran on the goal line when they scored on that RPO earlier. I'm ready for this, right? We've got a guy out there. We're ready for it, and we do okay. We probably should have tackled him sooner, but we do okay. Now it's 3rd and 8. Check it out. We're in cover 3. They've got the trips to the left, so I'm watching that 3 vertical route thing that they did earlier. We've got that covered. I'm going to control the hook curl on the right side here, and, let's see if we can lock up this play. So it's a pass play, right? I see this guy coming across the formation. I'm going to duck down, and you look, top right, covered, top left, covered, hard flat on the right side, covered. I've got this guy coming across the middle. Where the heck is the other hook curl at? This is him over here by this 40-yard line marker. Why on earth is he helping the curl flat cover nobody? I watched this play back several times, and I can't for the life of me figure out what on earth caused my hook curl to drift over there. This is not cover 3 match. This is just standard cover 3. I have no idea why he decided to run over there. If anybody knows, if I'm missing something, let me know, please, in the comments. But for some reason, my hook curl is nowhere to be found. So, of course, this is a really easy, wide open throw that my opponent can complete. I tried to come back and make this tackle. Couldn't do it, and that's a first down. Wow. All right. Well, there's still time for another stop. They come out once again. F-twins over. Now, right here, I am playing really hard for this inside zone. That's what they ran earlier. on a second and short, I'm going to play this inside zone really hard. It's late in the game, and I can't afford to just play conservatively and accept 3 or 4 yard runs, because at this point, if they get a first down, like, our chances of winning drastically decrease. And so I'm going to have to shoot this inside zone. And if this is inside zone, I know, based on the way that inside zone blocks, that if you've got somebody to the play side in your gap, like number 61, he's going to block left. He's going to try to block this guy right here. But if you look at number 70, he doesn't have anybody to his play side gap. So what he's going to do is he's going to block. He's going to cut back and block to his right and then try to get to the second level. And so knowing that number 70, his first step is going to be to that right, I am aiming for that gap. I am aiming for that B gap right there to try to shoot it when number 70 takes his step to the right and hope that I can get in there. And number 70 does take a step to the right and then somehow gets back and manages to block me really from behind. He just wanted it more, and I gotta give credit. Like, that's just a great play there by an offensive lineman. We still managed to make a good play on this and force a third and short. And so now they're coming out in this formation again. We have seen this formation now 2 times on short yardage situations. We know exactly what play is coming. This is the RPO where number 86 is going to drift out to the flat on the left. And my play call right here, how I'm going to play this is I'm going to use this deep safety that's in this mid-read, and I'm just going to totally kind of ignore his assignment, and I'm going to fly in and try to break up this handoff if they do decide to hand the ball off. And then I've got my outside, my edge defender, I've got him on a contain, which means he's going to kind of push outside a little bit to try to get in the way of that flat. I've also got my slot corner here. He is on a hard flat. There is nobody else that will be over there in this flat other than number 86. So he should be all over him. He's also the contain guy. I want to point that out. That's what that C means, that his job is the contain, which means his job is to keep everybody inside of him, and he's supposed to try to keep people from going too far to the left, try to funnel everybody back in. That's his job. He's the contain. We've got a great defensive look here against this play, and here we go. They're going to snap the ball. It's exactly the play I thought it was, and my hard flat contain guy has decided that rather than play his assignment, he is going to take it upon himself to be the hero and run in and tackle the running back here. He is full steam ahead on this running back. We still have the contain out there, my edge rusher, that's kind of in the way of this play. And I probably wouldn't throw the ball right here because that's a lot of traffic. And, we're past the 2-minute warning. An incomplete pass right here just helps me. It doesn't hurt me at all. I would be handing this ball off and at worst forcing me to use a timeout. They've got numbers here in the box, so I think if you hand the ball off right here, there's a good chance you're going to get the first down, and if not, you're going to force me to use a timeout and probably have a 4th and short that you may be able to convert. But regardless of what he does, this is a blatant, just blown up assignment from our hard flat who should be all over this route. I know it's coming. I call what I can only assume is the best defense that I can possibly scheme up to try to defend this, and yet that we just have no way to stop it. And we just, and our guy just totally misses his assignment. And I really don't have any words for that. He does end up throwing it. He does complete it. He falls forward. He gets a first down. He did get another first down. He'd wind the clock out. And that's how this game comes to an end. And so, a really frustrating game, but the main thing that I want to think about and want to kind of focus on at the end of this game is that despite all of the things that went against me, that felt like they were out of my control, that just felt like the game was trying to screw me, despite all of that, I come back to the fact that I am 1 or 2 user errors away from still managing to win this game. Right? If I don't make that pitch on the fumble recovery, we possibly take a 10-0 lead. That's a completely different ball game than the one where he goes into the half up 17-3. Like, we had our chances, we made mistakes, and yes, the game did a lot of screwy things that kind of got us off our game, but at the same time, we had no shortage of user errors ourselves. And so watching this back has really been helpful for me. I know, because I've seen some plays that I thought were total user errors that I'm like, oh wait, no, how was I supposed to know that the man coverage got handed off? I can't really blame myself for that. At the same time, I have seen plays where I probably would have blamed the computer and blamed EA, and I look back and I'm like, oh no, that was just a really boneheaded play by me, and I really shouldn't have done that, and why did I do that? And so I think that's kind of the important thing here with this film study. Like, it would be a disservice to everybody if I kept in all of the great, all my genius play calls and like incredible reads on the defense and like all this stuff, which, sometimes I make good reads, sometimes I make good decisions, but I'd be doing a disservice if I kept in all that stuff and try to make myself look so good, but also didn't include the fact that, hey, I make a lot of boneheaded decisions, and sometimes those boneheaded decisions are enough to swing the result of games. And this game, I think, is a really good example of that. So yeah, hopefully we can move on from this. Hopefully we can learn from this. Still a couple of games left in the season. We still control our own destiny to make the Ivy League championship game, which would then probably give us a spot in the college football playoff. So we're still in a good spot here. This doesn't totally derail our whole season, but we've got to be able to look at this film and learn from our mistakes. And so that's kind of what this is let's look at what's happening and let's learn from our mistakes. Hopefully we can be building from this and do a little bit better next time out. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the like button. It helps me out, lets me know that you're watching it, that you like it. Also, consider subscribing. I've said this before, but I stream all of these games, all of my games, and most of the other user versus user games will be live streamed on my channel. So if you want to see these games live and you want to hear my live reaction and my live crash out to some of these rage-inducing EA moments, then yeah, feel free to tune into the live stream. You can find them all on my YouTube channel. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.